Hi there everyone, today we're going to look at sequences, alright. This is more likely to appear in a foundation paper than a higher paper, but essentially the rules and the terminology is something that you obviously need to be aware of. So it's kind of a very much an introduction to sequences and pattern spotting more than anything else, alright. So sequences, as it kind of suggests, a set of numbers which follow a specific pattern, alright. Now don't necessarily expect it just to be just numbers. Of course, it could be shapes and space, but effectively what you're looking for is there a set of numbers within those patterns, right, that you can look at, and it might be worthwhile thinking about how you can get numbers from those patterns and spotting it. All right, so in each of the case, the numbers are called terms. So, for example, your first number will be the first term, the second number will be the second term, and so on and so on and so on. And what we're normally looking for is what we call the term-to-term rule. The thing that takes one number to the next number. And it might be a case of you add a number, it might be a case of you times it by something, but we're looking for the pattern. And of course, that is called the term-to-term rule, what happens between them, all right? So here's a couple of examples. I said, what are the next three terms in the sequence, all right? So just kind of in quick summary, this is your first term, that's your second term, that's your third term, that's your fourth term, that's your fifth term, and what we're after is the sixth, seventh, and eighth terms in this sequence. So we're looking at the pattern, and it's 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and hopefully if you can spot that it's going up 2 each time. So our next three are going to be 18, 20, and 22, aren't they? All right, so there's the term-to-term rule, adding 2 each time, and the next three are going to be there, all right? And that will obviously continue up and up and up and up as long as you kind of want it to go, all right? So that's what we're looking for. So that's the next three terms, and that's what that means, all right? What are the next three terms of this sequence? So again, we're looking at the pattern, trying to see what's going on. So hopefully here it's gone down 1, it's gone down 2, it's gone down 3, it's gone down 4, and so on and so on and so on. So hopefully you can see what's going on. So it's probably worth writing that down. So take away 1, take away 2, take away 3, take away 4. So if we continue that pattern, we're going to take away 5, we're going to take away 6, and we're going to take away 7. All right, that's going to give us our next three terms of that sequence. All right, so no one's asking you to do anything else at this point in time other than look at the next three terms. All right, so let's have a look at the term-to-term rule. So this is where we've already kind of come across it in terms of maybe describing what's going on. But if you're asked to describe the term-to-term rule, then you need to identify what is happening between one term and the next. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So let's have a look and see what's going on. I've got 7, 12, 17, 22, and 27. All right. Well, hopefully, again, you can see it reasonably quickly in terms of what is going on. The numbers go up 5 each time, don't they? All right. So in relation to the term-to-term rule, I am adding 5 from the previous one. Or from one term to the next, I add 5. All right. You can see that written there. So my rule is just add 5 each time from term to term. All right. So let's have a look at this one. All right. So 3, 6, 12, 24, and 48. So what is happening? Well, it starts off by adding 3, but then it adds 6, and then it adds 12, and then it adds 24. So that's not ideal. But 3 times 2 times 2. Oh, there we go. So times by 2 by the looks of it. Yeah, happy with that. So it doubles and it doubles and it doubles and it doubles. All right. So times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So sometimes you might spot one thing and look at something else. So it doesn't have to be a case of add or subtract something. Of course, it could be multiply something when looking at the term-to-term rule. It could be a combination of different things. All right. So this, the term-to-term rule, is you multiply the one before it by 2. All right, or double it. Okay. So you choose the words. You're describing it as long as it's clear to the examiner. All right. So how do we use a term-to-term rule? All right, well, let's have a look at an example. So write down the first 5 terms in the sequence when your first term is 11, and then you add 7. All right, that's your rule. So you're going to start off by writing down number 11 because that's your first term, and then you're going to add 7 each time. It's going to give us 18, add another 7, add another 7, and add another 7, until you get 5 terms. And there I have 5 terms. So that's my answer done. So write down the first 5 terms in this sequence. So your first term is 3, and then we need to subtract 1 and then multiply by 2. So you've got a little bit more going on with this rule, but essentially it should be the same process. It's a bit like a function machine, to be honest. But let's have a look. So I've got 3. So if I subtract 1, like I'm going to be 2, then multiply by 2 should give me 4. All right, so subtract 1 times by 2, going to give me 4. All right, let's repeat. Subtract 1, it's going to give me 3. And then times it by 2, going to give me 8. No, 6. Flipping heck, 6. Right, then we need to subtract by 1, 5, and then multiply by 2, so 10. There we go. And then let's repeat. So subtract by 1, which is going to be 9, and multiply by 2, it's going to give me 18. All right, 3, 4, 6, 10, 18. All right, so that's me following those rules. All right, and that's essentially it. All right, so that is an introduction to sequences, introduction to the rules at the, and obviously what that kind of represents, and the idea of obviously having a term-to-term rule. And essentially that's it. If you obviously think you need a bit more practice on those and just kind of consolidation of the terms, please visit maths-school.co.uk. Again, as normal, there's a link at the bottom for you to have a go at, and of course, along with all the other videos that are available. So you might want to look at the next lesson, which is on sequences or the nth term. That kind of follows this quite nicely. All right, but thanks for listening.